there, my name is Jordan Ferguson. Welcome to this video where we're going to be introducing the tamborim. We're going to be looking at the basic virada technique and how to play the rhythm Carreteiro. First, we're going to talk about how to hold the instrument and the stick. The two ways that I kind of like to use to hold the instrument, you've got the kind of inside of the frame here, and the one I use is having it like your hand like a telephone, yeah? All these three fingers are going to be on the inside holding on, and then your thumb and your pinky are going to be up against some of the tuning lugs, and then that's kind of the basis for holding the instrument. The other way is if pretty much the same, you take all your fingers apart from your thumb, put them inside, and then you've got your thumb against one of the tuning lugs, yeah? I've also seen people do kind of funky techniques where they hold it like that, but I just don't find that comfortable, so I'd recommend this or this kind of grip. The stick, you want to hold it, I tend to hold it mainly in my index and thumb, with the thumb pointing up the way, and then the rest of the fingers kind of wrapped round. But I've still got a bit of leeway. I'm not holding on to it for dear life. You know, it should still bounce in my hand. Now that we've covered that, let's go on to the technique. So when it comes to playing the instrument, there are two main techniques for virada, or the turning motion. There's 3x1 and 2x1, or in English, 3-for-1 and 2-for-1. I'm going to teach in this video 3-for-1 because that's the one I use, and also it's a style that's becoming much more popular in the Escolas das Sambas and in the Blocos, just because it provides a much cleaner sound for every note. And also it's easier to learn, I think, as a beginner. In the description, I've got a link to Talita Santos, who's an amazing educator. You should check out her stuff if you haven't already, although if you've seen this, I assume you have. She's got a great video on demonstrating the differences really quickly between those two techniques. So if you want to check that out and just hear the difference, you know, that's going to be the top link in the description. What's really important for this instrument, and like being able to play it for long periods of time and play it well, is your posture. So I see a lot of people playing like this, which isn't good. It doesn't make a good sound. So what you want to do is you want to bring the tamborim in against your body, as if you go out to meet someone and shake their hand. That's kind of the angle you want to have it at. And then you want to have your tamborim stick just beside it, and using your forearm as a reference point and a kind of an anchor. And like the closer you are, the better the sound you'll make. And then tilt the tamborim just a little bit towards you. So Carreteiro and the sort of turning technique. Carreteiro is the rhythm that you saw at the start, or you will see in other videos online maybe, of people just playing the tamborim, turning it around really fast to samba, like bakaraga, 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 ba. We're going to learn that slowly. To break it down, there are 4 notes, or 4 semiquavers, for those that resonates with, for every pulse. So you're playing 4 notes for every pulse. Taka 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 ta. But just now what we'll do is we'll work on it as each note is its own pulse. So you'd be da, ga, da, ga. And then we'll build up speed as we go. So the first note, it's just hitting the drum in the middle, like so. Yeah? So that first note is just a normal hit. And the sound that you want is, because you're not hitting it there, you want to hit the drum with pretty much the whole stick. So when I'm hitting it, if I just leave it, that's how much I'm hitting the drum with my stick. And I'm not hitting it in the center because I tend to hit it towards the side a little bit, which is useful for the next note. So let's just practice just that hit. We'll just mark a slow tempo and hit it on every beat of the pulse. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? If you need to just keep working on that, skip back to that. The next note is very similar. You do the same thing for the first half. You go up against the drum, but now instead of just coming back away from the drum with the stick, you want to follow through
You want to hit it, and then as you're hitting the drum, use that momentum from your right hand, or left hand if you're left-handed, to turn the instrument and turn your hand with it. So don't just rely on, hitting it hard. Again, making that same noise, that bah, which in Portuguese they call chapado, this noise, this kind of sound. So far we've got, and again, so let's have that as beat 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the third note. Now this is the other quintessential note of the virada technique, and it's like the hardest one to get. So this is what you should be practicing a lot. You've finished off in this position here, where the tamborim's facing away from you, as is your stick, and all you need to do is bring the stick back up, still making that bah sound, and then same thing as before, as your stick hits the drum, turn it around to face you. Yeah? So thinking about that in context, we could just practice or we could start practicing the first 3 notes together. So let's practice that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. I didn't mean to give you that sneaky hint as to what the next note is, but I'll leave it in because it's useful. So the last note, you've just turned the tamborim round and you're back to that first position, and it's the same strike. So your fourth note is just hitting the drum again as you were in the first note. So the full sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's practice that at that sort of similar tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've gotten through all that, and you're thinking, yeah, I've got this down, I can play, and you've started picking up the tempo a bit, the important thing to remember as well is that there are different dynamics of each note. So the way they play it is that first note is the loudest one because that's the tempo and that's the drive. Then the other 2 notes, the middle 2, are your quietest, but still loud, but by tamborim standard, quiet. And then that fourth note is a louder one again, but not as loud as that first note. So you've got da ga di ga da ga di ga da, and you're kind of recreating that samba swing of da ga da ga ga ga. Let's practice at the same tempo as we're doing before, but with the new dynamics. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. So it's really worth practicing this with a metronome. If you don't have a metronome, there's plenty of apps. There's even just Google metronome and it'll come up with a metronome in Google built in, which is great. So just now we're doing it as every quarter note, as every mark of the pulse. So da, 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 da. The next step to building on that is making it every eighth note, so every quaver. So instead of having one note per pulse, you've got two. So it'd be ba, 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 da, ga, da, ga, da, ga, da, ga, da. Yeah? Let's practice that. So now we're doing eighth notes. So instead of it being ba, 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 we're going to do da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a little bit harder, but keep practicing with that. And then if you're thinking, yeah, got that, it's way too easy, then we can make it the actual part, which is 4 semiquavers, so 4 beats per 1 beat of the pulse. So at that tempo, instead of it being da, 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 it now becomes... Yeah? So work between each of those. So even if you set up a metronome at a super slow speed, what I'd recommend is you take a metronome and then take your instrument if you've got one. If you don't, take a stick to your hand and be gentle with it. So I'd recommend starting off at 55 beats per minute. And what you can do is you can start off by just doing what we did to begin with the quarter notes, the ba, 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 ba. Then build it up to ba, 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 ba. And then if you want, throw in ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba, 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 da, ba, 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 da, ba, ba. So let's practice that. Let's practice that together for a little bit, shall we? So I'm going to hit the timer, and then we're going to play. We'll count to 4, so let the first bar go, and then just go straight in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't finish, there we go, hey! So it doesn't finish the bar is the only downside when you get to the end of the timer. So now let's up it to doing the quavers. So we're doing every beat that the metronome hits as well. 3, 4. Yay! Made it all the way here, well done. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate your time. If you could do us a favour and drop us a like and a comment if you enjoyed it. I've got other social media stuff I post on Instagram pretty much every day if you're into that. For now, bye!